Hello, it's Talien here with a speed paint. So, welcome. Um, yeah, I guess I don't really have a lot to say apart from the usual spiel about the fundraiser. I'm raising money for the Women's Foundation of Minnesota, so please go check out the details in the pinned comment. Yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I guess that's kind of the only spiel I have, so let's get into drawing. We do have a standard speed paint today, unfortunately, which, you know, hopefully sometime soon we can get some different ones. This one here this one is a little bit tricky just because it has so much like depth to it, like there's some compositions where like the depth comes from like different layers, that you can kind of separate out from each other, but this one is all just kind of, you know, existing in the same, not the same, but you know, it's not as clear cut. So this is especially going to be tricky when I eventually have to figure out how to split this up into layers. I don't even know how to sketch this. There's just so much going on here. And of course, a lot of the shapes here come from the shadows more so than the actual, you know, forms of things. This big mound in the middle is pretty significant with little, I don't even know what to call it on top. It's not even a house, it's like a some kind of structure. This all just kind of blends into each other. It's so tricky. And there's like a river running down here that's also like kind of hard to see. Man, it's gonna be a weird one. There's like weird rock formations and stuff over here. And like a tree over here. Do I have this lined up correctly? I think I do. This is maybe too low though. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go from here and, figure things out as I go along. So yeah, the big question of how do I split up the layers? I think I might be able to put this stuff on a foreground layer. This is gonna be tricky for sure. There's just so much happening. Um, hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna try to split it up into at least those two layers. Beyond that, though, I think it's tough. All right, what kind of color do we want to start with? Maybe with this gray of the rocks here? We need to go more blue. It's not blue enough, I don't think. Hang on one sec. What is my YouTube doing? Let me just check the stream status. Hello? Okay. I think it's working. It's just my YouTube preview was not loading. Okay. I think we're good. Is that okay? It doesn't look right. I don't know. It needs to be darker. I'm gonna go with that for now, but we can fix things up later. Maybe get a lighter one for over here. And then in here it's gonna get more greenish yellowish. Let's just go straight into this light foggy color. That's maybe too much. Sure, why not? We'll put this in the back here too. That's not quite right for that, but whatever. Close enough. This is definitely going to need to get more blue, I think. And even like maybe more towards the greens. Darker. That's maybe too much. Yeah, that's too much. Oops. I probably shouldn't be going in this hard on one spot just yet, but I think it's cool. I want to do more of it. That's too green. Sort of like that, I guess. Here we can put some of this color too, I guess. We're gonna need to get more greens down here and some like yellows over here. That's way too bright. Do I want to start with something bright though, maybe? Like this is excessive, but maybe we can go with it. And that's also maybe excessive, but that's actually helping to tone down that green a little bit. Hmm. this is just too much. I think maybe let's get it back into the greens. Oof, that's really dark. Let's maybe start with that and then balance it out with something more bluish. Actually, maybe something greenish. What kind of color do I want for that? Oof, a little bit much. Is that okay? No, it's not quite right. Also, I didn't place it correctly, I don't think. What was this color I had here? Let's put that back. Yeah, like that. I'm not... I need to figure out what to do with this. Because this looks really weird right now. I don't know. I mean, first of all, this gray needs to get much more blue. Okay, that's a decent color for that, I think. And then we can get some darker bits in here and various stuff. I feel like that's too gray for some of this, though. That's maybe working. Kinda, not really. It needs to be lighter. That's kind of working, I guess. Kinda. I feel like the yellow part looks weird now. Let's get some darker blues in here too. What kind do we want? Okay, that's working. Okay, yeah, I think making some of this a little bit more saturated is looking quite nice. Oops. Just get some like kind of texture in there, if you could call it that. And also some kind of brighter bits. Maybe blend that out a little bit more to give it more of that misty sort of look. Although honestly, I probably shouldn't be doing this until I have the texture of the rocks down better, so that, you know, I don't have to go back and like back and forth doing different parts of it. But I'll just do like a simple thing of this, and then I'll go back to do more on the rocks, and then if I need to fix up the misty parts again to fit it, then, you know, we can do that. It's an iterative process. That's normal. What was this sort of this color? Get a little bit of that in there too. Just some various foggy bits. Then let's make sure we have stuff for here. This part is going to be a little bit tricky because it has that light falling on it, so it's like not as blue as everything else. Oh, something happened. Oh. Looks like my stream is a little unstable. Maybe back, hopefully. I'm not sure how to like blend this back in. Let's maybe get this color and see what we can do with that. I guess that works. And then in here, there's like, I don't know, all these greens and stuff. You know what? Let's put the foreground layer into while we're here. What blues were we using for this kind of stuff? Whoa, wrong brush. Very much wrong brush. Yeah, that'll do. And then on this side, we need more of the yellowish sort of color. This is going to be one of the lightest parts in this painting. Is that okay? I'm gonna go with that. I don't think that's gonna be the final color, but we'll start there. And then we need some, maybe not too crazy green, but pretty bright. Is that too much? That's maybe too much. That's closer. Let's go with that. And then the transition here is pretty much covered up by tree. So, but we do want to add some blues in here. Let's maybe just take this blue. Or maybe we should start with something a little bit more greenish. Is that okay? That's a little bit much, I think. Let's start with some greenish. I think that'll do. Just give it like some texture. And then we can go blue for the darker parts. Like that, and then of course the shadow of this tree is going to be the darkest and the bluest part on here. That still might like not even be blue enough. I think that's pretty good. And then we'll add the tree in later. Is this enough for here though? I'm not sure. Maybe we need some more texture and shadows and stuff. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit again. Well, this part is mostly going to end up covered by tree. hopefully, if we have time. So I'm not too worried about it. I do think some parts need to get a little bit brighter and maybe a little bit cooler. Let's go more towards the blues, something like that maybe. Like in here and a little bit in here, maybe even lighter. For some of the kind of highlights. Okay, let's go with that. And then on this side we have a lot of very bluish greens. Is that going to be good enough? Not quite what I want. It's pretty close though. I feel like that's also not quite there, but you know what? I don't have time to mess around too much. Is that good enough? I think I actually want it to be bluer, but I'm just going to go in with like blue shadows, and I think that should do the trick. Check that out so we can see the stuff a little bit better. Ah, lag, stop. Okay, there's like rocks in here that we need to deal with as well. Is this like a color that we used for rocks and stuff? At least for like the darker shadow part of the rock. Yeah, I think that's a good color for that. And we can go in with that in here, I think, as well for this rock part. And a lot of these rocks are going to need to be lighter, or at least like have more highlights. What do I want to use for the highlight? I had various blues that I could use for that. There's too many blues here, and I am completely forgetting which one is which, so I'm just going to try my best. It needs to be lighter than this. It needs to be lighter than the surrounding greens. Although, now that I look at it, I think it's the surrounding greens that actually need to be darker. So, let's see what we can do with those. Yeah, there we go. I think that's, yeah, here we go. I was going to say it's still not dark enough, but if I keep layering it on a little bit more, it should be okay. Ah, not the lag. Stop lagging. If the lag becomes too much of it, you know what? That's it. I'm just going to turn off my avatar here, because that seems to be what causes the lag. It should be okay now. Okay, let's get our blues back. Was this the blue I was using? That, and then we have the darker, that's turning out weird. What did I do? Okay, well, whatever, good enough. Get some highlights in here as well. I think we're going to need to get some darker shadow colors in there too. I don't think I'm really going to have time to go in with like all the details of the shapes in this like rock formation. Or is that even a rock formation? I can't even tell. I think so. I think that's rocks. But I'm just going to kind of fudge it, you know? Yeah, maybe let's start going in with some darker colors. Get some of those in here too. Although maybe let's do it with the softer brush. It feels like this isn't quite the right color for this one, but definitely not the right color for this side. All right, I think that's good enough for now for that part. I feel like this entire rock is just too light. It needs to be darker in general. Let's fill in this stuff too. Let's see. So I think let's start with that light color. Just fill in more of it in here. Is this the green we had here? No, it's definitely a different green, but whatever. Close enough. We do actually need a slightly different green over here. It's also probably not the right green, but I don't have time to be too picky. Let's see. How do we do this side? There's just so many weird shapes in there that it's it's kind of hard to see. So like we want to make this like part of this shape. It's such a weird shape. I don't even know what the heck is going on in here. And again, I probably shouldn't spend too much time on this thing just because I have so much other stuff to worry about in here. Like I really want to get in this side of things. Like, I don't know, what do we even have going there? What is this even the shadow from? Is it the shadow of this thing? It's so hard to tell. this is so the wrong color for this. You need to get like really blue. Honestly, I probably should have done this with the thick paintbrush. Is that right? I feel like it needs to be way darker. Then around it, actually, we need to get lighter. But also, geez, there's just, there's so much stuff happening everywhere. You know what? I'm gonna start putting in some of these bushes with this dark green color. Just because I already have it. Okay, we have that going. Let's fill in a little bit of this and then spend some time on... Although, if I have this entire background on one layer, I really want to start from the back and work my way forward. So it's a little bit tricky. But for now, let's start with a nice... get some real nice bright colors in here. Go super green. Like that, I think. And then start going a little bit more bluish towards the outside. Sure. That will do. I also need to fill in a bunch of stuff like in here and whatever else. So let's see. We're about halfway on time. So I'm going to give myself until around the 40-minute mark just to try to get in these rocks in the back here. So especially back here. Oh, and there's so many trees to put just everywhere. I feel like this part in particular just ended up too warm toned. I need to like blue it up. Blue it up sounds very funny, but you know what I mean. It needs to be more blue. And then this part is going to need to be way darker to contrast with that. Oh man, we need to get some dark stuff in here. Whoa. That's maybe a little bit much, but let's go with the thin, or the... Why is it weird? All right, this, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of blending here because this is starting to look weird. And blend and then put the details back in. Okay, like that. This is not the right color to do this with. Oh well. That's also not the right color for that. Whatever, close enough. And then maybe let's get this color even and use it for some of the highlights. Probably close enough. Let's see now. Let's get what greens do we have? We can get some more bluish greens in here. Is that okay? That's probably not bluish enough. A lot of this, hopefully, if I have time, will end up getting covered in trees. So I don't need to worry too much about it. Over here we've got some like rock happening over there, and then that's not the rock color I want. I want something lighter, I think. None of this is doing the right thing. Whatever, close enough. It'll do. And then in here, let's get maybe this color for the stream. It's too bright, but maybe it'll be okay. All right. Let's see. Then here we have this awkward place that's kind of between my two layers here. So I need to figure out how to make that work. We want some blue greeny kind of colors in there. That's too blue. I want more green. I think let's try to have these attached to the bottom layer rather than the top one. Okay, we have something kind of like that. Oops. And you know what? Let's actually combine these with this layer too. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that with a thick brush. I want to do that with the watercolory brush. Oops. And let's actually get a little bit of the misty color in here too. No, I don't think I want to do that. Maybe more like that. Ah! Just kind of blend the two layers together a little bit. It looks slightly awkward, but I think it will do. I think this area in here is kind of the brightest part of the mist, and in here too. Let's blend those out slightly. Okay, cool. And now let's maybe try to spend the next 10-ish minutes or so on this central bit with the tree and stuff. Okay, so the first thing is I really need to get that darker. Is this a greenish? I want it greenish. Yeah, like that, like super duper dark. And then the rock part is more towards blue. And I maybe should draw the tree first, because drawing the tree over the super dark stuff is going to be annoying, but oh well. I've done this to myself. Okay, I'm going to try to do the next like 10 minutes or so on that, and then the last 10 minutes will be just drawing in all of the trees. All right? How does that sound? I think that sounds okay to me. All right, so sort of like this for the tree shape. Obviously, it's a very odd color right now, but I'll try to fix that. So the first thing we want to do is probably get, I don't know if we want to get our dark greenish or more bluish color for the shadows. I think that's okay. And then we really want to go ham on the highlight. Is that too ham? I think that's not orange enough. There we go. I think that's a good color. Okay, maybe that'll do. And I'll just give it some more branches there. That actually might be it for the tree. I think that's maybe good enough. And then I think we want to get some more stuff going in here. And then like the other side of it. I don't know, this looks weird, but whatever. Let's see. What color do I want to use for this thing? Is the next question. We want it to be green. Or let's go with the thick brush. Sure, we'll start like that, and then let's get our one of these lighter colors. Maybe this. That's doing pretty well. I think the background actually kind of needs to be a little bit darker to offset it. Sort of like that. And then let's try to get one of our super dark colors and put in the top of this thing. And then there's also like this bit that's maybe we'll just put in our like brownish color. It's not quite right. Whatever, I think that's good enough. All right, let's see, what are we missing? Obviously, we have a lot of trees to put in. I want to put in this bit. You know what? This color that I have on here actually might be fine for that. Although, okay, no, it's okay for a start, and then we'll add in some more orangey colors. Where's our tree brown? There we go. That's not the right color at all. Whoops. Okay, we're gonna need to do better than that. Let's see. Maybe this? Okay. And then like a, you know, it needs to be greener. Darker, honestly. Oh, it's turning out kind of weird. Why did it end up such a weird shape? I feel like that turned out too bright. Maybe we can tone it down a bit. Okay, let's try to get some of these colors in here too. There's like little like paths and stuff that are, maybe with this brush though. There's like, I think this is a bridge across this little stream. Oh, and then there's this this path that's quite bright. For that, we can actually probably get in one of our colors here. And with our thick brush. Close enough. Yeah, I think at this point we pretty much have the basics down, but we just need to add all the trees. There's so many trees to add. Okay, cool. Tree time. So many trees. Gosh, where do I even start with all these trees? We need a... I would love to just get like a tree color and put them all in with the tree color, but I feel like these trees are going to be a whole bunch of different colors. So I'm going to see just how fast I can scribble them in. Let's try to get like a brighter tree highlight color. Okay. Some of the trees towards the front should be a little bit lighter, I guess. Or not lighter, darker. Opposite the other one. It's like not quite right. But I don't have time. No time. Just tree. So much tree. Man, I don't know. What am I doing with all these trees? Darker, maybe? Gosh, I don't know. Just way so many trees to put in. Where else do I have trees in the background layer here? There's a tree here. This tree I think is a slightly different color, but whatever. It can be the same color as the others. Is it just the foreground trees now? This is a pretty important tree. Oh, it's, you know what? Let's put that one on the foreground layer. Oh, and I never really went back to highlight these bushes, which I feel like I should have. Although to be fair, there are some like highlighty parts in here that work decently well, I think. That's not important right now though. Right now we need to get as many trees in as we can. Man, this tree just kind of totally disappeared. Oh well. It shall do. Where else? All of these trees. No, we need to get this color brush back. Make that a little bit darker. This is the tree rush. Just trees and trees and trees. I feel like this needs to be like bluer. Mm, more of like a medium tree color. Let's see. This stuff looks more like bushes than trees, but it's also important. Where else? There's this tree-ish thing in the foreground. I actually can't even tell if that's leaves or the shadow of leaves. I think it's just leaves. All right. Is that it? Have I missed any important trees? Or, you know, other important details. Not everything has to be trees. But most things should be trees. I feel like this is like not bright enough still. And you know what? I think part of it is just that the background is not dark enough to offset it, unfortunately. I probably should check my values. I feel like these shadows still aren't dark enough, and these shadows are maybe still not dark enough. These shadows in these trees are definitely not dark enough. And this isn't either. Yeah, in general, my shadows are just not dark enough. And yeah, some of my lights, the highlights could be a little bit brighter. But mostly it's the shadows are not dark enough. So let's try to get these in there. Just to darken up these trees a little bit. And there's also, I think there's a shadow cast by the trees onto the rock behind them, which I don't really have the time to go back in and paint under stuff. So it is what it is. Hmm. I don't know, what else do we have to do? I don't know. I think we might be done. I don't know how I feel about this one. Like, I feel like I did things right, but it just doesn't really have an oomph to it, you know? Like, it's all right. It's kind of fun to look at the little preview in the corner and compare those two, because here it looks pretty damn similar, which is kind of funny. Um, I guess we can look at the values some more. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. It's okay. All right, well, I guess that'll probably be it for today then. Cool. Thanks for coming. The one thing, of course, we can't forget is to spin our challenge wheel. heck? Why is there an ad on my challenge wheel? Go away. Hang on. I need to load the wheel. Why is it all weird? Hang on. Wheel, hello. The page is like not responding. Come on. Okay, I think it's loading. Here we go. Wheel. All right, let's give it a spin. I just hope we don't get another standard, because I'm tired of those. Do not do it. Do not do it. I swear to God. God damn it. Every time. Why does this keep happening? It's a 1 in 4 chance. I think over half of my speed paints so far have been standard. Why? Alright, well, it is what it is, I guess. Cool. Alright, next week will be another standard speed paint. Yeah, in the meantime, Tuesday and Thursday we're going to be playing Unreal Life. Yeah, normal schedule, you know, the usual stuff. If you want a speed paint commission, please go check out the fundraiser. You can donate to the Women's Foundation of Minnesota. $10 will get you your own 1-hour speed paint. Yeah, cool. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I don't really have anything else, so let's call it there. Have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you later. Bye.